So logically, you want to get your brain to a place of unconscious competence where your brain just knows. So when you're talking to a cute girl, you just kind of know exactly what to say without even fucking thinking about it. The whole concept of running out of things to say is almost out of my fucking reality because I'm not even thinking about it, right? When I'm going through my DMs, I see this girl from France, and I'll be like, bonjour, it was so nice to meet you. Come to the club this Friday, right? I'll literally talk like that. Then I see this girl that I met from Colombia, I got her Instagram, and I'll say, hola Maria Fernandez, mucho gusto, tú eres muy hermosa, me encantas. En serio, tú eres muy guapa, yo quiero verte, means I want to see you. Come to the club this Friday. We're throwing a party at this club this night. I'll see you there, right? Then I'm talking to this cute girl that I met from the Philippines. She's this cute little virgin girl, right? And I'm like, hello, mahal kita. It was so nice to see you. I really like you. You're very cute. Why don't you come out this weekend, right? Then I'm talking to this girl, Sabrina, that we met at Ultraviolet on Tuesday, right? And all of a sudden I start talking very like clean, like a stern, like white man, like a business dude. Sabrina, it was so great to see you the other night. I love your vibe. You and your girl seem lovely. Why don't you girls come out this weekend? We'll pop some bottles and hang out, right? So based on, and I wasn't thinking about doing this, Nathaniel kind of pointed out that, hey, Justin, you're changing the archetype and the way you speak for each girl based on her, personality, right? And so, again, you want to get to that level, right, Michael? Right, Evan? You want to get to that level where unconsciously you're just like pitching it in the way they'd want you to pitch it to them. You kind of mentioned it. You definitely mentioned it, right? Actually, I want to ask you, how do you never run out of things to say?
I do.
Do you? Okay, cool. So there's a few ways to never run out of things to say. Now, let me ask you a question, guys. If you're hanging out with your best friend from childhood, or you're hanging out with, like, I don't know, your coworker that you really get along with, you guys ever run out of things to say? Do you? Yes or no? Right? If I'm hanging out with my fucking roommate, do I ever run out of things to say? If I'm ever hanging out with a girl I'm dating that I'm in love with or whatever, do I run out of things to say? No. So why are you running out of things to say at the club or at the bar when you see a cute girl you want to talk to? There's a few reasons for it, okay? There's two main reasons for it. Well, first of all, if you want to never run out of things to say, you can do like the OG fucking dating community content where you have like scripts of lines and, you do the whole like OG mystery method thing where you're like, you do this and that and this script and that script. And you can have like scripts of what to say, right? But is it realistic? Because eventually you run out of shit to say, right? You're eventually, like, even if you fucking memorize hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of a routine of what to say to a girl, eventually, are you gonna run out of things to say? Yes or no?
Actually, you're right. I actually don't run out of things to say. You know what I do? I listen a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll get there. So a lot of guys run out of things to say when they're talking to a girl. And the reason they're running out of things to say is because they're judging themselves and they're judging what they have to say is good enough. Let me ask you a question. If 99% of the things you think aren't good enough to say, are you gonna run things to say? Yes or no? Of course you are. You're gonna be thinking, I wanna say this to her, but I'm scared she's gonna judge me. By the way, guys, I even recently had that with a girl, not necessarily with running out of things to say, but with being able to communicate how I was feeling to her. You know what I mean? Makes that, like, I recently had that with a girl. There was a girl I really liked, okay? And we were dating, like she became my girlfriend. But I struggled to communicate effectively, but it wasn't me, it was her. Like, she was just like really bad communicator. So I was like, I had to like condense what I had to say to her, you know what I mean? Make sense? And so the whole point is like, first of all, you never want to be in that position. You never want to be talking to a girl where you feel like is what you have to say good enough. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit, dude. But the other thing is, you got to stop judging what you have to say, right? If you think what you have to say isn't good enough, then of course you're going to run out of things to say. The reason you guys run out of things to say is because you're judging what you have to say, right? Did you run out of things to say yesterday? Did you feel like a little bit? When did you find you're running out of things to say? When you're in your head thinking too much. Why are you in your head thinking too much? What are you thinking about? Should I say this? Should I say that? What should I say next? Right? Does it make sense?
Also, sometimes don't feel congruent. Instead of being like high
Got it. You don't have to be high energy. There's nothing wrong with being high energy. I'm not saying be low energy. I'm saying fucking smile, talk with a range of tonality, and offer value. I'm not saying you have to be high energy, right? But again, you are at a nightclub. You're at a fucking nightclub. So let me ask you this: if you're not adding value to the environment, having fun, then does she want to stick around and talk to you? No, you're gonna be boring, right? The girls want to feel good fucking emotions, right? And so, again, how are they going to feel good emotions? It's not by you just staring at them and staying there with your dick in your hand, right? It's by you engaging with them, right? So, notice that when you're actually talking to a girl, you should not judge what you have to say. You shouldn't think, is what I have to say good enough? You should be thinking everything I have to say is good enough. Does it make sense? And just share what the fuck. You didn't even tell them I'm shy. You say, like last night, you told some girls, I've never been to a club before. How did they respond to that? They're like, oh my God, this is awesome. They weren't like, oh, you're a fucking weirdo. They're like, oh, wow, cool, fuck yeah. First night at a club, right? Dude, when I'm nervous, sometimes I'll tell girls like I'm nervous. If sometimes, and it's very rare I get nervous, very rare. But sometimes if I'm even a little bit nervous, I'll literally tell the girl, I'm like, honestly, I thought you're really cute, and I'm like nervous to talk to you right now. You know what I'm saying? Because you're really pretty. I'll be like, you're prettier than my ex-girlfriend, and so I'm nervous talking to you. I'll say shit like that. Does it make sense? You can try that. You can, if you're feeling social anxiety, you can literally tell the girl, hey, I'm feeling nervous to talk to you, right? You can literally tell the girl, I want to talk to you because I think you're attractive, but I'm running out of things to say because, you know, I don't only talk to a lot of girls. I haven't talked to a lot of girls. I don't have a lot of experience. You can tell them that. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, bro? Yes or no? Logically, does that make sense? Yes or no? Okay. Make sense? So the reason you guys are running out of things to say is because you're trying to filter. Well, first of all, you're trying to compare your game to me. Is anyone been doing that last night? Was anyone like trying to compare their game to me or like anyone else? Or like, I don't know, you're compared to Ryan. You're like, oh, fuck, I gotta step up like Ryan. Or I gotta do like what Justin's doing. Let's copy him. Let me ask you this. Will copying me actually work? Yes or no? No, it's because it's not congruent to your personality and it's not actually natural. It's not organic, right? Does it make sense? You know what's fucked up? If you try to actually copy me or like be something you're not, you actually just come off like almost like a creepy robot guy. Like, imagine this. Have you guys ever seen, there's this like weird robot humanoid. You probably know what I'm talking about. You definitely know what I'm talking about. I forgot her name. You guys ever seen those like weird robots though? That like talk and shit? Yeah, like the realistic AI robots. And then they're trying to like turn, or like the Boston Dynamics robots. They kind of freak, like the little Boston Dynamic dogs kind of freak you out if you look at them. They're kind of like, what the fuck is this thing? You know what I mean? Or like, I don't know, like if you guys ever seen a robot, it just looks really fucking weird. And the reason it looks weird is because it's not real. And you know it's not real. And it's like trying to be human, but it's not. And so it's like in your head, it's like, what the fuck? It's like not a human, but it's like, that's why like zombies are freaky. That's why people get freaked out by zombies. Right? So people get freaked out by zombies because it's like a human, it's not. Okay? Well, when you're trying to copy what I'm doing, when you're trying to copy some dude's like pickup artist script, right? When you're trying to copy what, you know, some sort of like line that someone else is using, it comes off super fucking weird, super fucking creepy. Because when you're talking to a girl, she can just like feel instinctually, this guy's not being authentic. Authenticity is extremely attractive. So from July until January, when I had a pretty, like, I wouldn't say it was a serious girlfriend, but I had a girlfriend. I would pick up girls, tell them I have a girlfriend. I would hit on girls, and they'd be like, I have a boyfriend. I'd be like, oh, that's cool, I have a girlfriend. But I cheat, though. No, I would literally do that. I would literally go up to girls in the street, and I'd be like, oh, you're really cute. Nice to meet you. They're like, oh, sorry, I have a boyfriend. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm not even hitting on you. I have a girlfriend. But I cheat, though. And the girls were like, what the fuck? And I found a lot of girls actually did want to fuck me because of being authentic. It blew my mind. Every single girl I'd pull would know I have a girlfriend. I would never, ever, and I admit I was cheating, and I actually feel bad for it in hindsight. Like, I almost wish I didn't get in the relationship and didn't cheat, or like just had an open relationship. I don't want to get into the intricate details of the relationship. Like, it was supposed to be open, but if I told my girlfriend that I'm fucking other girls, she literally would kill herself, right? And so like, I you know what I mean? So I kind of like was bad, like, because I did tell her I'm gonna fuck other girls, but you know, accept it, or I'm going to leave you, and she didn't want me to leave her. I don't need to get into it. So it wasn't necessarily a moral dilemma. It was like, I don't want my girlfriend to kill herself, right? But long story short, you know, banging other girls, I have a girlfriend, but I cheat though, and the authenticity. So there was this night where I literally pulled a girl home from the club, and I just talked to her for 20 minutes. I was just like venting about both of my girlfriends. It was so fucked up. And I was like venting this girl, and then she's like, all right, like, can we fuck now? Right? Does that make sense? Well, why would that happen? I'm not judging what I have to say. I'm not thinking of like, if what I have to say is good enough. I'm just like talking about my life, talking about my experiences. I'm just talking about what the fuck I want to say. You know what I mean? Even in this video, even explaining this example to you, I'm not judging of, are the students going to judge me of what I have to say? Are the people in the camera going to judge me of what to say? I'm just going to say what the fuck I want. Does it make sense? Whether you think I'm a douchebag, cheating on my girlfriend, or this or that or whatever, I don't give a fuck. Does it make sense? And because I'm not judging what I have to say, I never, ever, 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 ever run out of things to say. And then the lack of filtering myself and the authenticity and the confidence behind everything I say is extremely attractive because because it is me. So I'm being confident in who I am. Does that make sense? I'm being confident in who I am because it is me. And I'm being radically honest. I want everyone to say radical honesty.
Radical honesty.
We talked about this last night a little bit. Evan, come here. We talked about this a little bit last night, right? Remember we talked about radical honesty? So do you understand the concept of radical honesty? Just saying whatever the fuck's in your mind, saying whatever the fuck you're feeling. If I'm hanging out with a girl, she's pissed me off, I'll tell her she's pissed me off. Last night, I invited a girl out, and she's being like a fucking, what we call a bottle rat. She keeps asking for alcohol, and I'm like, I have a $500 bottle of tequila and pouring you shots. Shut the fuck up, right? I'm like, what the fuck are you like complaining about? Like, shut the fuck. I literally said that to her. Does that make sense? I tell girls, dude, when girls are being annoying, I tell them all the time respectfully. Like, I'm like, hey, love you, darling, but shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Makes sense? Because like you're being annoying, right? Because she's like a 9-year-old girl who like thinks she deserves the world, but she's fat, so she doesn't. You know what I mean? If she was hot, if she was very attractive, like maybe, you know, I would reconsider. But I'm like, you're fat. You know what's funny? I told her she's fat. This is kind of fucked up. I don't know if I should put this on the video, but keep recording. I literally told this girl that she's a 3 out of 10. I told her she's a 3 out of 10. And I would never date her, right? I told her that. And you know what she told me? She's like, Justin, I'm glad we had that conversation the other day because now I'm going to the gym and I'm eating healthier. She said, I'm dieting, eating healthier, and going to the gym every day. Like, amazing. Because you know what I told her? Because she showed me her old Instagram pictures, and I'm like, you are so fucking hot 5 years ago. That's what I said to her. I'm like, you were so fucking hot when you were 18. Why can't you go be back to being 18? And I'm like, Jesus, fuck. COVID. I looked at her Instagram pictures. I'm like, why don't you look like that? I literally looked at her dead in the eyes. I'm like, you were so fucking hot. I'm like, if you look like that, I would date you. But you're a 3 out of 10 now. I literally told this girl that in my living room couch. I swear to God. Maybe I'm an asshole, but guess what? In the long run, who benefits? Like, dude, if I'm fucking my life up, I would want my friend to pull my head on my ass and tell me. Does that make sense? So I'm doing her a fucking favor. I'm saying, hey, darling, I care about you. You're a nice girl. You always come to my parties, but you gotta drop the attitude, stop being a bitch, stop being a value leech, and lose some fucking weight. I didn't say it like that, but like that's kind of my vibe. Because she asked me questions. She's like, do you think I'm cute? And I'm like, no. She's like, why not? I'm like, because I didn't outright say you're fat. Like I kind of like lead her to say, oh, I'm fat. Right? I'm like, I don't know, you're like bangable, but I would never date you. That's what I said to her. Like, you're bangable, but I'd never date you. You're like a 3 out of 10. I'm like, 4. I'm like, she got upset. I'm like, oh, okay, you're a 4. Right? Make sense? And then she's like, she got all upset. And I'm like, yeah, then she came to a conclusion. Well, she's like, it's because I'm fat, isn't it? And I just like look at her and I don't say anything. I don't say, I'm not like, no, you're not fat. Because I'd be lying to her. That'd be doing a service. If a girl's like, I'm fat. Well, look, isn't my job to say, no, you're not fat. Dude, she's fucking fat. No offense. And this isn't like hate speech. I'm just being honest. It's like, well, I'm not even telling her, hey, you're fat. I'm not saying, hey, I don't like you because you're fat. I'm just saying, oh, like, you're not bangable. And she's like, well, it's because I'm fat. And I'm like, I'm going to go back on my phone. You know, does that make sense? But now understand the underlying place it's coming from is I'm going to say where the fuck's in my mind. I'm not going to filter what the fuck I say. I'm going to say and do whatever the fuck I want to do and say. Does that make sense to you guys now? Yes or no?
Yes.
If I see that group of girls I want to talk to, I'm going to go up and introduce myself. If they tell me to fuck off, cool. If they like me, cool. Doesn't matter. What matters is my principles and my values of what I stand for, saying what I want to say, doing what I want to do, being who I want to be. And not fucking judging myself and not fucking filtering myself. Does that make sense to you? Not judging yourself, not filtering yourself. Okay?
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Justin Marc, international dating coach, relationship expert, and VIP lifestyle development coach. I've been teaching dating, Daygame, soul skills, and lifestyle development in 50 countries in 6 continents over the last 10 years to thousands of guys just like you. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn more about this stuff, you can go to justinmarc.com and you can schedule a call with me. I will personally call you. Okay, we'll talk, we'll get to know each other, and we'll see how we can potentially even work together. And the best part is we'll help you get your ducks in a row. We'll help you with an action plan on how to change your life. And if you guys want, you can go to wingmanpodcast.com. Check out our podcast. It's amazing. It's an amazing dating podcast I do with my co-host, Matt Levine. And then you can also go to my Instagram, my new Instagram, drunkjustin2. Okay, my new Instagram, and you can watch my daily Instagram stories where I'm always doing crazy things, parties, events, caught girls, the craziest things. And you can actually watch my stories there. And you can also message me if you have any questions. You can reply to my stories and I'll be sure to message you back. And please subscribe here on YouTube, my YouTube channel here, Justin Marc. And click the bell notification so you're notified of new videos. And we will see you guys very soon in a new video. If you like this video, I really appreciate if you leave a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. I will talk to you guys soon. My name is Justin Marc, and I'll see you next time.